Hey guys, Moonpies here, and I'm about to get trolled. I'm about to tell you 5 reasons why Disney's new Genie Plus platform will be better than what you think it is. And I know a lot of you are going to hate it, but it's coming from a good place. And I know all I ask is that you bear with me through all 5 of these things because you're going to hate me at first, and maybe you will by the time I'm done, but hopefully at least maybe some of it will resonate with you. Let me start with 1. Let me just get this out of the way. You're getting off easy. $15 for Genie Plus in Disney World, covering Fast Pass access or Lightning Lane access to most of the rides and attractions across Disney World's 4 theme parks is a pretty good deal. $20 in Disneyland is a pretty good deal. That's what Disneyland was charging at Max Pass since February of 2019, right before it closed down. So that's not such a big deal there. Now, keep in mind that you do also have to pay 10, maybe 20, maybe even more for a premium attraction. We'll get the list of that eventually, but for now, know that, compare that to, let's say, a day at Universal Orlando, just a few I-4 exits away, and you'd be paying as much as $200, even more than $200 for access to Universal Unlimited Express to both parks. It is not this monumental amount if you're already paying for Disney. And I realize that it's coming from people that are paying annual passes, and what they're paying per day, if they're paying $700, $800, $900 for an annual pass, and they're going every weekend, it works out to about $20, $30 a day. So just this presence of this plan would almost double the typical visit. And I get it, but know that this is not as bad as it could have been. Every other park, even SeaWorld, you can pay up to $100 for their quick queue. Six Flags, the Cedar Fair parks, they all have these premium passes that cost way more than $15 per guest. With the premium access too, of course. Number 2, it's not about you. Now, you're thinking, I'm an annual pass holder. I am the Disney World's biggest fan. I am a charter member annual pass holder. Why are they doing this to me? It's not about you. It's about the person that isn't you. It's about the person that doesn't go to the park every day. It's about someone who a week before their very first visit to Disney World gets tickets at work or wins them or buys them or whatever happens, gets that scratch-off lottery ticket to go. And when they're about to make plans, they pull up an app and they see that the fast passes for all the best rides are claimed. And you're saying, well, it serves them right. They should know that 60 days they can start making fast passes, or 90 days if they're staying at a Disney resort. But the real world doesn't operate that way. And a lot of the people that come on their one day, they're paying more than $100 for a single day at the park, plus they're paying for parking, which most pass holders aren't. They're sometimes staying at Disney hotels, and even then they're going to be paying for parking, which most pass holders are not. They're spending a lot more per just to stay than you will as a pass holder. And that's part of the issue here, that while Disney loves you, they love you, you annual pass holder, they realize that there's people out there that are putting off their trips because when they try to plan that trip, all the best restaurants are gone. All the best rides are gone. It's the Fast Pass access to it. And they just have to go in and just drudge it out in the standby line. See, it's not about you. It's about increasing the breadth of people coming to Disney World and making it more of a common and enjoyable experience where they don't have to plan it 2-3 months ahead of time. So point number 3 is you will be fine in the standby line if you don't want to pay for Genie Plus or the premium for the Lightning Lane Plus rides, whatever they call those. You will be fine. Now think about this. You hate the standby line because you think of pre-pandemic when the Fast Pass line was filled with a ton of people because they were the people making 3 reservations up for rides well in advance. They knew how to game the system, so they knew once they made 3 Fast Passes early and then just kept pounding the app, finding new rides, and just keep adding apps. They can be on Fast Pass lanes for the whole day, and that is taking spots away from the people in the standby queue. So everything you hate about the standby queue is because the Fast Pass system, the way it was before, the way it is now, isn't going to be all that different than Universal or SeaWorld or Six Flags or Cedar Point. All these parks that have this system in place, sort of like a paper ride thing that you pay for a Fast Pass, Quick Queue, Universal Express, whatever they call it in the parks, and they enjoy it because the other line, the expedited line, is expedited for a reason. There are very few people in that line. And I can assure you, while a lot of people are going to pay $15 per person, most of them will not. And that's going to mean that standby line is going to move a lot faster because there'll be less people in the Lightning Lane. You have to know this. And even though you may be angry right now, I assure you come November, October, December, when this starts rolling out, you're going to see that the standby line is going to be moving pretty quickly, definitely faster than it was pre-Fast Pass. pre-pandemic rather. So then we get to the fourth element, and that is that you will be fine without planning every 1 hour fast pass window. So you may not realize this, but there's a lot of stress for some people getting out there and having these 3 hours that they have. They get there 60 days ahead of time. They plan their ads and they get in there. They plan their rides. They go in and they make that happen. It's not like that. It shouldn't be like that. It's going to be an experience where you just show up and, all right, let's see what I can do. Let's see what's available now. Now, a lot of people that are really upset probably haven't tried Disneyland's Max Pass. It's a pretty cool system. For starters, you can reserve things on the phone in the app. Once you get inside the park, you can already start reserving the next app. You don't have to worry. And because people aren't reserving 3 hour windows ahead of time, the availability of stuff that was on Max Pass pre-pandemic in Disneyland was always pretty good. It's not like there were rides that you could never go on. If you wanted to go on a really popular ride, you'd have to wait a few hours, and then eventually all the windows would go up. But this is a lot like the old Fast Pass system where it wasn't reserving 3 ahead of time. So this kind of thing will help you come in and go, I'm just going to have a good time, and I'm just going to let Genie, Disney Genie, which is the free version of the app, guide my day. And if Disney Genie Plus, which is the $15 a day add-on, is what I want to do to expedite some lines, I'll do it. If I want to pay extra to go on Rise of the Resistance or the Seven Dwarfs train, I will do that. So it's going to be fine. You'll be fine. All you'll have to worry about really is dining reservations at this point. And even then, it's pretty possible that even that may become more accessible in the future. So that's number 4. And number 5 is you may not like the level playing field. You're probably upset right now because you used to have this benefit, especially as a pass holder. You got parking for free. Well, you know, people that bought their one-day ticket paying $100, $130, $140, $150 sometimes for a park hopper, they don't have parking with that ticket. So they're paying a lot just out of the gate. And they obviously didn't have the same tools or planning reservations. And even if they were lucky enough to say, oh, I have to wake up at 7 a.m. to make a Rise of the Resistance reservation, they're not as smart as you are. They don't know you can't try at 7 a.m. You have to be at 6:59, use the actual official timing, have a fast phone, have everything working right in your element to get one of those few spots that are available at 7 a.m. and the same game at 1 p.m. So all this changes now with this level playing field where anyone, if they could just purchase an ability to get on Rise of the Resistance, which means even if you don't like to if you don't want to wake up at 7 a.m. or at 6:55 a.m. to figure this out, it's there for you. And more importantly, if, let's say, Genie Plus fails, let's say Lightning Lane is like the fiasco of the Bob Chapek era. Let's say this happens. Initially, you're going to cheer. You're going to say, yay, this is great. Until you realize that these people were subsidizing your rides. They were subsidizing your stay. By people paying $15 just for access to this thing and then paying $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40 over the course of a day just to go on some premium attractions on top of that, they have increased the park revenue. If all that goes away, it will go back into how much you pay for an annual pass. Now, if you've seen ticket prices and annual passes, how they've gone up pre-pandemic, went up every year. Dating back to the 1980s, it goes up every year, and lately the increases were pretty high. If you're telling yourself that Disney has this resource to make money off some people, off a premium experience, they're willing to pay a little more, that will mean that your ticket prices aren't likely to go up much higher right now because they have this new revenue stream taking that place. If that goes out the window, you can be sure that your ticket prices are going to go up substantially higher just because you are suddenly paying on this level playing field that you want. The fact that people can stay at a Disney hotel, they're paying a lot more than they do if they would find a comparable hotel off-site. But they do it because they had early access to the park at night, early hours and extended hours. Obviously now restricted to just the deluxe hotels, but pre-pandemic it was pretty much all the hotels had access to this. They were paying for that. Maybe not obviously, maybe not directly, but they were paying a premium for the rooms for that. The ability for them to have their buses, Disney buses or Disney monorails or Disney ferry boats, ferry them to these different parks, they paid for that by paying for these hotels more than they would for a comparable off-site hotel. So there's always been people paying more for stuff. Pass holders aren't necessarily in that boat, but I can assure you that if you want everything to be even, that everyone to have the same access to ride reservations, which means that those of us who know the system and know how to work that 60-day, 90-day, making the dining reservations out just at the right moment and stuff like that, that goes all out the window if you want the level playing field. I don't think you want that. I don't think you want to pay more for ticket prices and then be at the same mercy that everyone is at the park. So again, these are 5 reasons why I think the new Disney Genie Plus platform will be fine. and it will be successful. And you will not like it at first. But after a few weeks and your first visit or two in the park, you're going to realize, either I didn't need this lightning lane / fast pass in the past experience before, or I don't mind paying a little more because, hey, I'd rather pay for Disney Genie Plus than buy a plush souvenir on the way out or buy a dinner. And I can assure you, this Genie Plus, spending $15 on Genie Plus, is a higher margin product for Disney than them selling a $15 item, as ridiculous as the markup is on the retail end. So Disney's doing the right thing by this. It was inevitable that it was going to happen, as Disney's trying to increase revenue per guest. And you can be angry about it, or you can learn to play with the rules of, hey, this is where I can now stand, this is where I'm going to go, this is how I'm going to make it work. Again, this is Moon Pies. You probably hate me, but hey, the comment section's open, so let me have it. That's it. See you at the parks. Really. See ya.